Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is VC Pramod with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Midday connecting India and Bangladesh. A slew of development projects unveiled by Prime Minister in Tripura. Says Setu to boost production of bamboo products, pineapple and agarbatti in Agartala. Parliament resumes normal sitting from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. today. Both the Houses of Parliament adjourned till 2 p.m. following opposition uproar over the issue of price rise of petrol, diesel and LPG. Today is the last day of filing nomination for the first phase assembly elections in Assam and West Bengal. 11 volumes of Srimad Bhagavad Gita manuscripts to be released by the Prime Minister this evening. A high-level inquiry committee formed to ascertain the cause of the fire at Eastern Railway's Strand Road office in Kolkata. Delhi government presents 2021-2022 budget. Over 20 lakh COVID vaccine administered in the last 24 hours across the country. And archer Deepika Kumari, Ankita Bhakat and Komolika Bari of Jharkhand make it to the upcoming Olympic qualifiers to be held in Paris. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today inaugurated Midday Setu between India and Bangladesh through video conferencing. The bridge Midday Setu has been built over Feni River, which flows between Indian boundary in Tripura and Bangladesh. The construction was taken up by the National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited at a project cost of 133 crore rupees. The 1.9-kilometer long bridge joins Sabroom in India with Ramgarh in Bangladesh. The Prime Minister also launched infrastructure projects in Tripura.
सबरूम और रामगढ़ के बीच सेतु से हमारी मैत्री भी मजबूत हुई है और भारत बांग्लादेश की समृद्धि का कनेक्शन भी जुड़ गया है। बीते कुछ वर्षों में भारत बांग्लादेश के बीच लैंड, रेल और वाटर कनेक्टिविटी के लिए जो समझौते जमीन पर उतरे हैं, इस सेतु से वो और मजबूत हुए हैं। इससे त्रिपुरा के साथ साथ दक्षिणी असम, मिजोरम, मणिपुर की बांग्लादेश और साउथ ईस्ट एशिया के दूसरे देशों से कनेक्टिविटी सशक्त होगी।
Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Modi said, Midday Setu will not only boost the production of various bamboo products, but will also widen the pineapple and agarbatti business in Agartala. He said with the opening of the Feni Bridge, Agartala will become the first Indian city closest to an international seaport. Mr. Modi said during his visit to Bangladesh, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and he together laid the foundation stone of the bridge connecting Tripura directly with Bangladesh. He said our friendship has been strengthened by this bridge and it will also strengthen the economic activities in both the countries. The Prime Minister said this Setu will improve the connectivity in Bangladesh. He said it will also improve communication between the people of both the countries.
बांग्लादेश के साथ हमारी मैत्री हमारे व्यापार की भी मजबूत कड़ी सिद्ध हो रही है। साथियों, इस पूरे रीजन को पूर्वी, उत्तर पूर्वी भारत और बांग्लादेश के बीच एक प्रकार से ट्रेड कॉरिडोर के रूप में विकसित किया जा रहा है।
The Prime Minister also inaugurated a slew of development projects in Tripura. The Prime Minister said Tripura had received 3,500 crore rupees between 2009 and 2014 from the central government for development projects, and it has received 12,000 crore rupees between 2014 to 2019. He said the farmers and poor families of Tripura are getting the benefit of PM Kisan Samman Nidhi and Ayushman Bharat Yojana.
सौभाग्य योजना के तहत त्रिपुरा में 100% बिजलीकरण हो, उज्ज्वला योजना के तहत 2.5 लाख से ज्यादा मुफ्त गैस कनेक्शन देना हो, या फिर 50,000 से ज्यादा गर्भवती महिलाओं को मातृ वंदना योजना का लाभ हो, दिल्ली की और त्रिपुरा की डबल इंजन की सरकार के ये काम त्रिपुरा की बहनों बेटियों को सशक्त करने में मदद कर रहे हैं। त्रिपुरा में पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि और आयुष्मान भारत योजना का भी लाभ किसानों और गरीब परिवारों को मिल रहा है।
Around 80,000 families are benefited from Pakka houses in the state. The Prime Minister said Tripura is one of the 6 states where new technology is being used in building houses. He said Tripura's connectivity infrastructure has steadily improved over the past 3 years.
आज त्रिपुरा पुरानी सरकार के 30 साल और डबल इंजन की 3 साल की सरकार में आए बदलाव को स्पष्ट अनुभव कर रहा है। जहां कमीशन और करप्शन के बिना काम होने मुश्किल थे, वहां आज सरकारी लाभ लोगों के बैंक खाते में डायरेक्ट पहुंच रहा है। जहां किसानों को अपनी उपज बेचने के लिए अनेक मुश्किलें उठानी पड़ती थी, वहीं पहली बार त्रिपुरा में किसानों से एमएसपी पर खरीद सुनिश्चित हुई।
Mr. Modi said better connectivity in Tripura is not only enhancing the lives of its citizens but also helping in the trade. He said Agartala has the potential to become an important centre of Atmanirbhar Bharat. A special package of 600 crore rupees given for the development of thousands of Bru refugees, which will bring a very positive change in their lives.
Both the Houses of Parliament were adjourned till 2 p.m. following a opposition uproar over the issue of price rise of petrol, diesel and LPG. In Lok Sabha, when the House met after first adjournment at 12 noon, the scene was no different. Members from Congress, Left, DMK, NCP, Shiva Sena and others again trooped into the well, raising slogans against the government. This led to adjournment of the House. Earlier this morning, when the House met for the day, opposition members created uproar over the issue demanding rollback of increased prices of petrol, diesel and LPG. Speaker Om Birla repeatedly urged the agitating members to go back to their seats and allow the House to take up question hour. He said question hour is very important as members raise problems in their respective areas. Amid noisy scenes, he tried to run the question hour, but in vain. As the pandemonium continued, he adjourned the House till 12 noon. In the Rajya Sabha also, when the House met after the first adjournment at 12 noon, the opposition parties again raised the issue. Congress members trooped into the well and started raising slogans against the price rise. Deputy Chairman Harivansh tried to run the House by initiating the question hour and asked the members to go back to their seats. Amid continuation of noisy scenes, the upper house was adjourned till 2 p.m. Both the Houses of Parliament have today onwards resumed their normal proceedings from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. In view of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have switched to staggered timings as well as sitting arrangements to maintain social distancing and other COVID-19 safety norms. More from our correspondent.
During the monsoon session and first part of the budget session, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha used to function at different timings. Rajya Sabha functioned in the morning from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., whereas the Lok Sabha sat from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Special sitting arrangements were made where members from Rajya Sabha used to sit in both the houses of the parliament as well as in the galleries. Similar sitting arrangements were followed by the Lok Sabha in the evening. This was done to ensure the social distancing norms and comply with COVID-19 safety mechanism. Even now, when the normal timings have been restored in both the houses, adequate measures have been taken to maintain physical distancing between the members present in the house. In both the houses, the members are sitting at safe distance in their respective houses and galleries. Sanitizer points have been set up at different places of the Parliament House complex to maintain hygiene. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
The government today said that 157 new medical colleges have been approved under the centrally sponsored scheme in 3 phases. In a written reply in Rajya Sabha, Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harshvardhan said that these new medical colleges are attached with the existing district and referral hospitals. He further said under the scheme, a new medical college can be taken up by upgradation of a district hospital. The minister said such projects can be approved in districts where there are no pre-existing government or private medical college. The government has said that 3 pending installment of dearness allowances of central government employees and pensioners will be restored prospectively, which is due from July this year. In a written reply in the Rajya Sabha today, Minister of State for Finance Anurag Thakur said, as and when the decision to release the future installments of DA due from 1st of July this year is taken, the rate of DA as effective from January last year to January 2021 will be restored prospectively. He added that the rates will be subsumed in the cumulative revised rates. News just in, Lok Sabha adjourned for the day following opposition protests over hike in price of petroleum products. However, Rajya Sabha is functioning.
The government today defended Food Corporation of India's decision wherein farmers in Punjab have been asked to upload their land record details for payments of their produce. Responding to supplementaries in Lok Sabha, Consumer Affairs Minister Piyush Goyal said the move is aimed at bringing transparency in the payment system and disburse payment directly into their bank accounts. Akali Dal MP Harsimrat Kaur Badal had raised this issue objecting to FCI's move. She said it will adversely affect the interests of farmers. Fisheries and Animal Husbandry Minister Giriraj Singh today criticized senior Congress leader Rahul Gandhi for his recent remark wherein he had demanded a dedicated ministry for the fishermen. During question hour in Lok Sabha, he questioned Mr. Gandhi's demand, saying that the former Congress president is not aware that Narendra Modi government has already made a separate department for the fishing community. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Maitri Setu connecting India and Bangladesh. A slew of development projects unveiled by Prime Minister in Tripura says Setu to boost production of bamboo products, pineapple and agarbatti in Agartala. Parliament resumes normal sitting from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. today. Both the Houses of Parliament adjourned till 2 p.m. following opposition uproar over the issue of price rise of petrol, diesel and LPG. Today is the last date of filing nomination for the first phase of assembly elections in Assam and West Bengal. 11 volumes of Srimad Bhagavad Gita manuscripts to be released by Prime Minister this evening. A high-level inquiry committee formed to ascertain the cause of the fire at Eastern Railway's Strand Road office in Kolkata. Delhi government presents 2021-2022 budget. Over 20 lakh COVID vaccines administered in the last 24 hours across the country. And archer Deepika Kumari, Ankita Bhakat and Komalika Bari of Jharkhand make it to the upcoming Olympic qualifiers to be held in Paris. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
Welcome back to the Midday News. In Assam, today is the last day of filing nomination papers in the first phase. Polling will be held in 47 seats in this phase on the 27th of this month. Chief Minister and senior BJP leader Sarbanand Sonowal has submitted his nomination at Majuli. Accompanied by various senior leaders, Mr. Sonowal took out a rally before filing his nomination paper. Mr. Sonowal claimed that the BJP-led alliance would come to power again on the basis of the development works done during the last 5 years. Senior Congress leader and former Minister Rocky-Bull Hussain has also filed his nomination paper for Samaguri seat in Nagaon district. Sitting Congress MLA Nurul Huda and Ahomgon Parishad legislator Renu Poma Rajkhoa too submitted their nominations today. In poll-bound West Bengal, filing of nominations for the first phase of polling ends today. In this phase, 30 assembly constituencies across 5 districts will go for polls on the 27th of this month. These are 4 seats in Bankura, 9 seats in Purulia, 6 seats in West Medinipur, 7 seats in East Medinipur and 4 seats in Jhargram. 111 nominations have been filed so far for the first phase. Scrutiny will be done tomorrow. The last date of withdrawal of candidature is on the 12th of March. The assembly elections will be held in 8 phases from 27th of March to 29th of April. Counting will take place on 2nd of May.
News just in, both the Houses of Parliament adjourned for the day following opposition protests over hike in price of petroleum products. In Tamil Nadu, with 2 days to go for nomination, DMDK has decided to break away from the AIADMK-BJP alliance today. The seat-sharing talks for the AIADMK ended in failure. Though it is said that the party demanded more than 23 seats, AIADMK was ready to offer a lesser number of seats for the Assembly along with the Rajya Sabha seat.
With election mood gaining momentum, COVID vaccination is also on the rise. Nearly 160,000 people have received the vaccine. DMK leader M.K. Stalin also received the vaccine today at a private hospital in Chennai. The Chief Electoral Officer Satyaprata Sahu today had a meeting with the Expenditure Monitoring Committee. Liquor movement in the state are also monitored by flying squads ahead of elections. CCTV cameras have been placed at checkpoints to monitor liquor movement from headquarters. Every voter will be given a hand glove according to the suggestion given by the State Health Department. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Finally, in the poll-bound Union Territory of Puducherry, the Bharatiya Janata Party BJP and the NR Congress have sealed the alliance for the upcoming April 6th Assembly elections. The NR Congress will contest in 16 seats from the total 30 seats Puducherry Legislative Assembly. 14 seats will be shared by BJP and AIADMK, and the sharing of seats will be announced later.
15,388 new COVID-19 cases have been reported in the country in the last 24 hours. With this, the total cases have reached 1,12,44,786. In the last 24 hours, 16,596 people have recovered from COVID-19. The total recoveries is now at 1,08,99,394 and the recovery rate has reached 96.93%. 77 people lost their lives in the pandemic in the last 24 hours. With this, the death toll has reached 1,57,930. Active cases in the country is now at 1,87,462. The government today said that more than 20 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered across the country in the last 24 hours. Union Health Ministry said the cumulative number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country has crossed 2 crore 30 lakh today. The ministry said more than 43,74,000 beneficiaries aged more than 60 years and over 7 lakh beneficiaries aged more than 45 years with specific comorbidities were vaccinated till date. The Health Ministry said till now 2 crore 30 lakh 8,733 people have been vaccinated.
Union Health Ministry has said that there is no shortage of COVID-19 vaccine doses in Rajasthan. The ministry said there have been some news reports suggesting impending shortage of COVID-19 vaccine doses in Rajasthan. The ministry said Rajasthan has been supplied 37,61,000 doses and has consumed only around 24 lakh doses till yesterday night. Health Ministry said central government is regularly monitoring availability of vaccine supply in all states and UTs and providing the doses as per their requirement and consumption pattern. Last year, on the same day, the first corona patient was reported in Maharashtra. After brief relaxation, now again some restrictions are being imposed in some parts of the state.
Due to rising COVID-19 cases, Thane, Nashik, Ahmednagar, Beed and Parbhani district administrations have also imposed certain restrictions to avoid public gatherings. Mumbai's Guardian Minister Aslam Sheikh has informed that the government will first try to control the infection by implementing measures like imposing fines for not wearing a mask or crowding at marriage halls and pubs. Finally, a partial lockdown could be imposed in Mumbai if the cases continue to increase. COVID preventive vaccination is in full speed in state. Jeevan Bhavsar, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Gujarat, more than 1 lakh persons were vaccinated against COVID-19 yesterday. All these persons were above the 60 years of age or above the 45 years with comorbidity. Quoting official sources, AIR Ahmedabad correspondent reports that not a single instance of any side effect has been reported so far. Meanwhile, the new cases of COVID-19 infection are increasing. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
According to the State Health Department, 1,08,226 persons have been vaccinated during the last 24 hours. Now the vaccination of 15,01,253 persons have been completed for first dose, while the vaccination of 3,57,654 have been completed for the second dose. Meanwhile, 555 new cases of COVID-19 reported during the last 24 hours, while 482 patients have been discharged from the hospitals after recovery. Total 2,66,313 patients have recovered from COVID-19 till now. At present, Gujarat has 3,212 active cases of COVID-19, out of which 41 patients are on ventilator. Maximum 129 cases reported from Ahmedabad yesterday. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Telangana state has reported 142 fresh COVID cases during the last 24 hours. With this, the number of cases reported so far in the state reached 3,153,000. Recoveries has also gone up to 98.86%, and over 2,96,000 have recovered so far. Meanwhile, following the death of two more persons, the deaths relating to COVID and other comorbidities have gone up to 1,644 in the state.
Odisha have vaccinated more than 85,000 beneficiaries against COVID-19 yesterday. A large majority of the beneficiaries, numbering a little more than 48,000 who took the vaccine shots, were senior citizens. More from our correspondent.
A total of 634 sessions had been conducted yesterday to vaccinate 85,884 beneficiaries, while around 12,000 healthcare workers took their second vaccine shots. 2,657 eligible persons having specified comorbidities also received their vaccine jab. Meanwhile, the state has reported 57 fresh positive cases as against 88 recoveries, leading to a slight contraction in its active caseload down to 722. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Madhya Pradesh on Monday reported 427 fresh COVID cases, while 394 patients were discharged from hospitals, taking the count of recoveries in Madhya Pradesh to 2,57,560. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
In Madhya Pradesh, Indore reported highest 166 new COVID cases, followed by Bhopal with 50 fresh COVID cases. No fresh COVID-19 case was reported in 13 of the total 52 districts in the state. Meanwhile, vaccination drive is being conducted smoothly in the state. More than 11 lakh persons have received the first dose of vaccine. All necessary facilities at the vaccination centers for seating arrangements, sheds, drinking water, wheelchairs and post-vaccination observations are being ensured for all persons, including the elderly. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
A high-level inquiry consisting of 4 principal heads of railway departments has been ordered to ascertain the cause of the fire at Eastern Railway's Strand Road office in Kolkata. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal tweeted that all possible assistance has been provided by the railways to the West Bengal government in view of the incident. The CPRO of Eastern Railways, Kamal Deo Das, told AIR News that Principal Chief Safety Officer of the Railways, Dr. Joydeep Gupta, will be heading the inquiry committee. The Kolkata Police and the Fire Services Department of West Bengal also initiated separate inquiries regarding the tragic incident which killed 9 persons, including a senior railway official, last night. The massive fire broke out around 6 p.m. last evening on the 13th floor of the new Koila Ghat building at Strand Road in central Kolkata. 20 fire tenders and hydraulic ladders doused the fire after almost 11 hours. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee announced an ex gratia amount of 10 lakh rupees and a job for each family for the deceased. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has approved an ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees each from the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund for the next of kin of those who have lost their lives. The Prime Minister's office said 50,000 rupees would be given to those seriously injured. The Delhi government has presented a 69,000 crore rupees annual budget for the year 2021-22. Presenting the budget in Delhi Assembly today, Delhi Finance Minister Manish Sisodia said 16,377 crore rupees have been earmarked for education, 9,994 crore rupees for health, 9,394 crore rupees for transport.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will release 11 volumes of manuscript with commentaries by 21 scholars on shlokas of Srimad Bhagavad Gita today at Lok Kalyan Marg, New Delhi. Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha and Dr. Karan Singh will also be present on the occasion. All India Radio News honors women achievers from diverse fields by bringing their stories as part of the celebration of the International Women's Day. Today we bring you the story of a great achiever in the field of medicine. Dr. Priya Abraham, Director, National Institute of Virology, Pune, shares her experiences of dealing with COVID-19 pandemic. Talking to All India Radio News, Dr. Priya said the indigenous COVID-19 vaccine is safe.
It is true that vaccines have been licensed for use in a very, very short span of time compared to earlier vaccines. But for a vaccine to actually be approved by a licensing agency in any country, including ours, it has to first go through preclinical trials. That means it first goes through a series of animal models and see whether, one, the first concern is any vaccine safe. The second is how efficient, its efficacy. Is it able to prevent illness or at least serious illness? So that has been done in animals, and then only we came to human beings, and even that goes through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 trials.
Legendary tabla maestro Zakir Hussain turned 70 today. Hailed as one of the most famous percussion artists, Ustad Zakir Hussain has also composed music for films and acted occasionally. He was awarded Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan apart from other prestigious recognitions in the country and the world. Son of another legend, Ustad Allah Rakha Khan, Zakir Hussain started playing the tabla at a very young age. We leave you with a clip of one of his performances.
Three women archers, Deepika Kumari, Ankita Bhakat and Komalika Bari from Jharkhand, topped the National Olympic Trials held in Pune to qualify for the Olympic qualifiers for the archery recurve team event to be held in Paris in July this year. After clearing the Olympic qualifiers for the team event in Paris, India will secure a place for the team event in archery for the Tokyo Olympics.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. National capital Delhi may witness partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder lightning. The minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius and the maximum is expected to be around 32 degrees. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky. Chennai will have partly cloudy sky with the maximum temperature expected to rise up to 33 degrees Celsius, while minimum temperature was recorded at 25. Kolkata will have mainly clear sky later. The city recorded minimum temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 34 degrees. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Jammu will see mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius while the maximum may be around 28 degrees. Leh will have light snow. Minimum temperature will have -4 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 7 degrees. Gilgit will witness rain or snow. Muzaffarabad is expected to have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature will be 9 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 24 degrees. Dehradun will be having a generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Midday connecting India and Bangladesh. A slew of development projects unveiled by Prime Minister in Tripura, says Setu to boost production of bamboo products, pineapple and agarbatti in Agartala. Parliament resumes normal sitting from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. today. Both the houses adjourned for the day. Today is the last day of filing nomination for the first phase of assembly elections in Assam and West Bengal. 11 volumes of Srimad Bhagavad Gita manuscripts to be released by Prime Minister this evening. A high-level inquiry committee formed to ascertain the cause of the fire at Eastern Railway Strand Road office in Kolkata. Delhi government presents 2021-2022 budget. Over 20 lakh COVID vaccine administered in the last 24 hours across the country. And Archer Deepika Kumari, Ankita Phakat and Komolika Bari of Jharkhand make it to the upcoming Olympic qualifiers to be held in Paris. And with that, we end the midday news.